Okay. Hey YouTube. My name's Michelle. I have 4 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's what I am. I'm 33 years old. I'll be 34 this December. So I just want to get here and talk about my son's health, about my kids. So I'm gonna start with AJ first. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it so much. So AJ, his name's Avery Danny. He was born in February. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all don't need to know all that. So, but he was born with health problems. So when he was born with 2 holes in his heart. He had 2 holes. One of them had closed up, one of them haven't. It's still a little small when they say about that size. And then he lungs and throat is still not doing good. Like he got a flap back there. You got a flap back there. His just got extra tissue where it's not opened up all it. They removed tissue off one of them. They did not do it on the other side yet. They have to wait for a little while. They can't do it all at one time. Because he won't be able to eat nothing. He has to just drink all his food. I have paperwork all about my son's health. Like, if y'all don't believe me, I will show y'all paperwork. I just have to find it. It's in these folders. This is my son's folder with all my kids' folders. This is all my kids' stuff, too. I got more. So when he was born, he went and had surgery because he wasn't doing good. They let me take him home. He had to spend a week in the hospital, and then we got to go home. Not a whole week. It was like 4 days. Like from staying 3 days, we stayed an extra day because they wanted to make sure he'd be okay and stuff when he go home. Here's all the paperwork where he'd be in and out of the hospital. All he lab work. I have all that. So they did that. They did a swallow test on him. He has had a sweat test done. Excuse me. He had a sweat test, a swallow test done. He have had x-rays of his stomach, his chest. He ever had 8 x-rays done on his stomach. His stomach is a small of they said small of a green bean. Where he won't never eat much because he get full too quick. Paperwork of my son's health. Like, I'm not lying about my son's health. They just haven't diagnosed him with nothing. They haven't found they can't figure out what causing him not to eat. See? So, like, this is what they're talking about. See that right there? That's what they had to go in and work on. See how that's supposed to be? This is what his was. See, he was having all this problem. I'm not lying. I have paperwork of my son's health. See? This was done on... One was done when he was 1, and we just did another one. This was 8 months. 8 months old. And then we did one when he was 2. But they said that my son's health, they don't know what caused it. He cannot eat just anything just like everybody else. He cannot have chocolate. He cannot have sweets. He cannot have certain type of milk. My son has to watch what he eat and how much he eat. He can't eat a whole lot. He can't eat like everybody else eats. It gives him bowel movement. He just have constant runs. His stomach don't just food right, and he gets full too fast. But AJ's a healthy baby. Besides that, I remember when he was 7 months old. No, he was 5 months old. He scared me. He was 5 months old. We was laying in bed, and his sisters just went to school, and I was laying in bed, and I was like, his foot don't look right. It's black and blue. And I look at my baby, and he was having a hard time breathing. So I run 2 doors down to my mama's house. That's when we usually live next door to. We were getting, and that's when my mom was getting along with me. She had something to do with me, because I was giving her stuff, so she had something to do with me. So I ran 2 doors down to my mama's house, and his dad was at work. And all I know, I asked my mom, I said, "Do this look okay? What should I do?" She told me call 911. I called 911, and I called his dad. I rushed. 911 came. I don't know they show up not because his dad showed up first, and I just rushed my son to the hospital. When I got him to the hospital, he stopped breathing. AJ had stopped breathing on me. I thought I was going to lose my son. I was praying. I was crying. And they told me your son, oxygen level had dropped so bad that it's making him go into seizure mode. And he's turning black and blue. He will not stop throwing up. Like, fever went from, he was having 100. It went from 100.2 to 105.8. Like, it was bad. They had 15 nurses working on my son. Like, they had 15 nurses, 3 doctors. Like, they was all working on my son. That was a scary moment. We spent 2 weeks in the hospital. My son was in the hospital for 2 weeks. We tried different types of milk. We had put IV in his head. He had IV in his arm. He had IV in his back for a minute, his leg. My son was bad off. Like, it was so scary. Like, it was scary as crap. But my son made it. He pulled through. He made it. Then they told me about the oxygen level in his brain and stuff that my son gonna be behind. My son was not behind. My son was walking at 8 months old. Like, I mean, for real. 8 months old, my son was walking. We went home from the hospital. He started walking at 8 months. He started standing up, trying to walk. He started pulling himself around, started walking on the edge of the couch. 9 months, he was just walking by himself, not holding on to nothing. I was like, thank you, Lord. My son started talking at 10, 11 months old. At 11 months, my son was talking. I feel like if you pray and you pray, God gonna answer you. Don't listen to what all the doctors say. They tell me my son will not be able to walk until he's about 2. They tell me my son will be able to talk till he's about 2. They tell me my son won't be able to do this, do that. My son did it. He proved everybody wrong. My son might be small. He might be little. But he act like he's older than what he is. My son is 2. AJ is 2 years old. He'll be 3 this February. And he's just now wearing 12. He's just now in 12 months, 18 months. Like, some 18 months he cannot fit. They're too big for him. Like, my son is growing. Like, but he growing slow. But he act like he's older than that. Like, when he went to school today, the school was so surprised with all he knew. And how he was talking. I don't never give up on my kids. I don't never give up on my son. AJ is my life. I do anything for my son. I will take him to every doctor I need to take him to. We'll go to every hospital we need to find out what's wrong with him. We have to keep getting tests done every 6 months to see if anything new changes or anything have changed, anything new come up. Make sure we can find out what's wrong with him. I love him so crazy about my son. I would do anything for my son. I didn't even supposed to have him. I was diagnosed with cancer on my ovaries. I was in chemo. I was taking chemo and radiation when I got pregnant with him. I didn't even supposed to get pregnant. I didn't even supposed to have him. I was giving myself shots just for me to carry him, to have him, because I was diagnosed with cancer. Out there, I had Karina The doctor told me you have cancer on your ovaries. And she said it's stage 2 now. You already had stage 1. You're in stage 2 and stage 3 kind of. So you need to make your mind up what you want to do when this chemo is over about having another kid, because you need to have both of them removed. So AJ came when they removed one side of my ovaries. I had my son with one ovary. I'm telling y'all, I only had one ovary. And when I had AJ, I had one ovary. And I couldn't believe I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, I had to take shots. I forgot the name of them. But I took them. He came. Now I had my son. I got my tubes tied, so I wouldn't have no more. I got them tied, burned, clipped, and I got partial removed. So, but yeah, that's my son's story. He was 7 pounds, 5 ounces. He was 19 inches long. All my other kids were 21 inches. He was 19. But he act like he's 5 years old, but he's not. He's just 2. And he sees 4 doctors every 6 months. He have 4 doctors he see every 6 months. He got 1 he has to see every 2 months. He got a lung doctor with a stomach doctor. He got a heart doctor. He have just a stomach doctor. And then he got a growth doctor about his growth and his food healthy and all that stuff. And his nutrition, what he got to have and stuff. But if y'all want to know more about my son, comment. I'll make more videos about him. But I don't mind. I want y'all to subscribe to my channel. I will tell y'all more stories, more videos. I will share more about my life. Like, I will show you more. And I will tell y'all more. But I'm glad AJ's here. And I'm glad he's healthy. And I'm glad I got my son. But my son had a rough life. Really rough life was the first year of his life. The first year of his life was so rough. I didn't even know my son finna make it. Some days I didn't know we're going to be in the hospital. Some days we're not going to be in the hospital. When my son had a fever, he had a fever. We could never get to broke. When he ran fever, he ran fever. It was hard. He always had to go to the hospital. Every time he ran a fever, we had to take him straight to the hospital. It didn't matter if it was a small fever or a big fever. He had to go straight to the hospital. My son, for a year and 3 months, he had to sleep with an oxygen thing on his wrist to make sure his oxygen level wouldn't drop. If it dropped, it beeped and let me know, and I had to wake him up and take him to the hospital. But now we don't have to do that no more. But we still have to keep an eye on him. If he say he don't feel good, he feel funny, we have to take him to the hospital. Call his doctor. We can't take no chances. So, thank you for watching my video about my son, AJ. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for liking it. Please help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And I love y'all. I love y'all. And please keep watching. I will tell y'all more. I have 4 kids. I got 3 more stories I could tell y'all about. I just don't want my video too long and y'all won't watch them. So, AJ's stomach small. He got a problem with his lungs. He still got a hole in his heart. He had 2. He just got 1. And that's it. My baby smile. So when y'all see him on the camera, he's smile now. Y'all know why. Love y'all.